Salute Knicks Nation. The Knicks season comes to an end, not the way we had hoped. This game to finish today, but the Knicks, man, left it all out there and fell short in 7. Tough game to watch. Obviously, you got to tip your cap to Indiana. Congratulations. Indiana will advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Knicks have missed out on what would have been a great opportunity really to make some noise in the Eastern Conference Finals. But we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about today, a little bit of talk about the off-season, and there'll be heaps more content coming right later this week, talking about looking ahead to the off-season. It's going to be a big one, right? But today it's all about, saluting these Knicks for what was a crazy run. Injuries came up to hurt us late, right? Some decisions throughout the regular season as well. We'll talk about that with, everyone needing to grow and adjust and be better next season, including the coach. But look, this one, man, Indiana came out hot and shot, a record playoff percentage early. The Knicks just didn't have it. OG Anunoby, credit to him, he fought and tried to give this team something. Josh Hart came out and was a Lionheart, tried to give what he had. And the rest of the team, man, emptied the clip as well. And also prayers up to the captain, Jalen Brunson, suffered a broken hand, fractured hand. You literally can't, make this stuff up, right? But welcome into the post-game. Appreciate you joining me. And we're going to talk about everything tonight. But I want to also say a big thank you to every single one of you who've enjoyed the content and followed us along all season, right? It's been an incredibly fun season, and, I don't know how many people expected us to get to where we were, but it doesn't make, the loss any less disappointing and frustrating. But look, it's only way up from here, man. It's only way up from here, as well as injuries caught up to the Knicks, man. And look, it took 7. And the first thing I'll say is, when a team wins a series in 7 games, it shows you that either team could have really won, the bounce of a ball either way. And the Knicks had their chances in game 3. You got to take those chances. Otherwise, you don't know how many chances you'll get as well. But I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed the way the Knicks came out, in this game. Obviously, they didn't have much left. That's the only way to say it. They defend better than what they showed today. They just emptied the clip, and Indiana came out loose, and I said it in the preview, this was their 4th try on the road at MSG, right? The Knicks only had 3 tries to win a road game in Indiana. If you get that 4th chance to win on the road, you're more than likely going to come out with a little bit more, looseness. And I thought Indiana came out aggressive early and really put the Knicks on the back foot, and we were tentative. But OG Anunoby made his first 2 shots, and the Knicks were trying to go back and forth, but it was a really disappointing defensive effort today, as, they just couldn't hold the Pacers back as well. What's up, Will, Daniel, London, AP, Jose, and Joshua? Appreciate you guys. Buzzer beater in the building as well. What are your thoughts, guys? Will says, we took this train as far as it can roll. I'm proud of the season. Yeah, we literally rode till the wheels fell off in this one, man. Salute, guys. It's tough to see JB go down with a broken thumb. Obviously, that play happened when he tried to, slow Tyrese on the fast break layup, swatted his thumb on Tyrese's leg, I think, or the ball, and ended up with a fractured thumb, man. He couldn't fight this one out. Obviously, we rewind back to the 3rd quarter. The Knicks cut it to 7 and 6. But then TJ McConnell came back in. And that's where I got to say, I think the difference in this series was TJ McConnell, right? You got to call a spade a spade. Tyrese had some great games, and he definitely showed up today. He deserves his credit. But throughout the whole series, right, Pacers don't win without TJ McConnell, and I think the Knicks would have had enough, but we had no answer for a TJ McConnell, fam. Jose, proud to be a Knicks fan. Bunch of Warriors, league on notice for next year. Couldn't have said it better, man. Appreciate you and, great, wise thoughts. Doesn't take away from the fact that today is disappointing, and parts of the series were disappointing. But if you look at the totality, you just got to be proud, really, really proud. AP, you called it, I think. And look, the Knicks, didn't have enough to answer Indy's call early. Joshua says injuries killed the team. Dreams of glory as well. Look, Eastern Conference Finals, Boston would have been favourite, but I just was really, really hyped to see what that matchup looked like, but we wouldn't have even been we would have been a shell of ourselves, even with a banged up OG as well, right? I appreciate him fighting it out, but really to go down after 5 minutes and the fact that he couldn't be a factor for the rest of the game is really, really disappointing, right? I don't know though if they were just trying to do a Willis Reed moment, but if you really couldn't help the team, maybe they should have tried a little bit more in the warm-ups to see if he had something. The talk is he was just jump shooting in the warm-ups as well, but tremendous fight from these guys. First and foremost, I admire OG trying to fight through it. He's going to be a free agent. I expect OG to remain a New York Knick moving forward, fam. And maybe he didn't want that label on him saying that he's soft or he doesn't like to battle through pain or discomfort. And maybe today his decision was to say, hey, Knicks Nation, I'm invested in this thing. I'm down for the ride, right? And I'm going to fight it out and show everyone that I'm going to, have the team's back in a Game 7. But look, the mind says one thing and then the body just gives way, unfortunately, as well. Salute, Mike. Appreciate always, and great to have you along for the season. Everyone out here, appreciate you once again. Thank you for joining us throughout the season, right? Lots of content to come throughout this week. We'll do a season autopsy. We'll do season grades, and we'll be doing an off-season look ahead. And then we're going to ramp up the draft content as well. Tay says injuries don't excuse the complete lack of effort for the past 2 games. Part of me is really feeling like it's just, injuries and the lack of reserve, the lack of reserves on this team. But, I agree, it's disappointing to see the lack of effort, but I really think they just emptied the clip. This is all they had left, which is disappointing, I know. But if this team had more, I really feel like they would have given more as well. Indiana are just fully healthy. They're the best offense in the league, and today they showed it. But disappointed that our defense couldn't really slow them down early, man. I was wrong, man, and I obviously predicted the Knicks in 7. Well, I predicted the Knicks in 6 prior to the series, right? And I take that L. But Indiana got lucky in Game 3. Obviously, the Nemhard big-time heave. And that's why I said 7-game series can swing with the bounce of a basketball, right? But let's talk more about today. Disappointed with how, we had no answer to slow them down early. But when we were trying to make that run and the Knicks really got it down to 6, bad turnovers, decision-making, and no counter to inbound the basketball really hurt the New York Knicks too, guys. And I feel your frustration too, because, we made that run. We fought ourselves back in today's ball game, and we really would have tested Indiana if it weren't for stupid turnovers as well. As we look at the turnover count, right? Pacers actually turned the ball over more, but that was a lot of that was late. But inbounding the ball, right? We have to do better at that, and that's something that Tibbs should wear, because we've been bad all season at inbounding the basketball, lack of focus sometimes as well, and inability to adjust to the full court pressure from a TJ McConnell, right? I don't know how many times we need to see Brunson struggle to get separation, to catch the ball in bounds, right? You have to come up with a second or third option after that at some point, man. If they're overplaying you, then throw it over his head, throw it up the court. But we'll dive a little bit more into that, fam. But the Knicks lost the rebounding, and I don't need to elaborate any more on that. When we lose the boards, we lose the ball game, right? Look at the assists, 33. The Knicks only mustered 22, right? Got to give a big shout out, first and foremost, to Dante DiVincenzo and Alec Burks for really showing up today as well. when our bodies were even falling down mid-game, those guys continue to battle, you know, and that summarized what a season that the big Ragu has had, man. And that'll be reflective when we give out our season grades later this week. But Dante, man, 11 of 21, 39 points, man. He emptied the clip and some on that one. Greta says they didn't fold. It's hard to win without your best players. Yep, you said it. You know, people will talk about OG today, but the story should really be OG going down in game 2. We missed him in 3, 4, 5, and 6. You know, same as last year. I kept talking about Emmanuel quickly. We lost him in 4, 5, and 6 as well. And those are big pieces as well, you know. The Knicks are 26 and 5 with OG and Anunoby. So, like you said, the Pacers didn't see the best New York Knicks as well, on top of today's disappointment. Jose, the Knicks would have won Game 3 series over in 5. Prayer shot won the series for the Pacers. Things happen, absolutely. You know, you need luck to get on a further run. You know, we needed a little bit of luck to get this far. Obviously, Embiid was hampered as well. We were the better team against Philly, but look at Game 2 in Philly. You know, against Philly, we caught some luck there as well, and we continued our run. Today we ran out of luck, fam, and you know, look, Boston, they're going to have the easier ride through, I think, but the Pacers will test them a little. Buzzer says this is why we need Randall and a lot of other guys, fam, and defensive wings. I want to talk about that when we do the draft talk as well, because I really think the Knicks are lacking some size as well. As much as you love the fight from Devo, Hart, you know, everyone fights above their size. Deuce McBride. But let's get some proper size at each position now, right? There's a reason why OG's so effective, because he's a real 3-and-D wing at 6'8", with big wingspan as well. Let's get some physical presence, and like you said, Julius Randle is a big factor in that. Wall Street, salute. Great season. We did more than expected with all these injuries too. Magical run. Really disappointed to lose 7, at home, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, man. The thing that gets me through this and keeps me optimistic is the fact that this is the first real season that the Knicks championship window is open, right? And most teams don't win in their first year. We've improved a lot. DiVincenzo, great season. Brunson obviously took his play to the next level. And let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. Shao Kahn, salute. We lost to injuries. Pacers didn't do nothing. They get no credit from me. I agree. We definitely, injuries held us back as well. J-Dub, we need to get deeper. We need to draft bigger wings. Yep. This was posted before what I just said earlier, but yeah, we're on point. You're on point with that. And look, the difference in the series, if you look at one particular player, we lose OG, TJ McConnell steps up, and sometimes role players can just win you the series as well, right? It sucks. I hate to see Halliburton get the victory. He was really inconsistent throughout the series, but he showed up late, right? But TJ McConnell showed up for the whole series as well. He's not a true shot creator as well, but he probed, he kept his dribble alive, and that is something that really hurt the New York Knicks defense today. We were gambling way too much, and we have to be better, including DiVincenzo, right? For as great as Devo was today, offensively, when we were trying to make a run, there's a reason why Indiana shot as well as they shot. And like I said, they broke an NBA record as well. But the Knicks have to wear that as well. The Pacers are good offensively, but no one should be that good in a playoff Game 7 as well. And we allowed that to happen. We were pretty soft early. And again, I said what I said earlier. I think the Knicks didn't have much left in the tank. But a spade is a spade. The Knicks were soft today. Defensively, we weren't gritty enough. But look, we rode till the wheels fell off. fam. And look, we almost made the Final Four. You know, in the Elite Eight is as far as this train will go, fam. But look forward to next season, man. And look, you know, once again, it's just been a hell of a ride this season. JB being banged up as well, that doesn't help. His hand happened today's game, fam, but his foot, I think, was hurting ever since Game 4, really. Game 4, he gave us one hell of a performance that we will relive in Game 5. I thought he had more left in the tank after that, but I was wrong, man. Game 6, he looked horrible. Today, he was fighting. He was a little better than Game 6, but he was bad as well. Like London says, actually, now that we know these injuries, we put things into perspective. Yeah, you know, no excuses, but Jalen took himself out of the game after he hurt his hand as well. Mikey Jones says, if we were healthy, Pacers could never have won. I think we would have closed it out earlier, you know, but look, they got luck in Game 3. That's just what happens, you know. Dante hit that huge shot against Philly, which, you know, helped us to advance. Josh Hart, you know, we can't leave him out because, you know, he rose up and shot and gave it a big shot today. 3 of 9, right, but went 0 of 4 from deep as well. Lion Hart left it all out there. Josh Hart, man, what a season Hart has had. But like you said, Mikey, injuries caught up to everybody, man. Hart and Anunoby. Dante DiVincenzo is probably fully gassed as well. The only fittest guys left standing is Miles McBride, Alec Burks, Precious Achua. You know, no Jericho Sims today, no Shake Milton as well. But look, we rode till the wheels fell off. We cut it to 13, 12 late. If it weren't for that late third quarter run, the Knicks would have really given the Pacers hell today as well. But look, they just countered every single run that we made in that third as well. And we made some bad turnovers as well. Really, really bad turnovers. Yeah, at the top of the show, I gave Pacers credit, right? It's up to each individual. This is, you know, we're dealing with a passionate fan base. And some people, you know, feel like the Knicks missed that opportunity rather than the Pacers taking it, right? The way I look at it is, just look at it like this, guys. You went to 7. Any team that advances after 7 games, both teams really deserve to win because, you know, the bounce of a ball, right? It's best of 7, but the Knicks blew their chance. You know, we had home court. We ran out of bodies as well, and the Pacers just had enough as well. Whether you think they're better or they're not, the Pacers had enough in terms of reserves and bodies as well. And they played the better game today as well. I really feel like the Knicks played the better game in Game 3 in Indiana, but we let them back in the ball game. And we have ourselves to blame after that one. What's up, Sandman? Salute. Yep. Definitely no more a fan of the Pacers still, but you know, I think the Knicks missed that opportunity, really. But look, the Pacers played better today, and they deserve to advance. That's how it goes. But the Knicks had their chances today. Like I said, I think turnovers, I think some inability to adjust to the full ball pressure. That needs to be said, right? Everyone will talk about, you know, who played well, who didn't, and all of that. But you also got to look at the coaching. You know, the Knicks didn't have any answers for the full court ball pressure, you know, in terms of inbounding, all of that. But look, man, Dante DiVincenzo, I'll save grades for the full off-season grade show, but today, man, he was big. Heart of a Lion as well. Left it all out there, emptied the clip, 39 points, kept the Knicks alive time and time again, but was so fatigued that he made turnovers as well. He made mistakes, you know, trying to be aggressive. I get it. He was trying to split the trap. Dante DiVincenzo had 4 turnovers today. Josh Hart had 6. Sorry, that was 6 fouls. Dante had 4 turnovers, team high as well. But look, he was the most aggressive, really. One other key point of tonight's game was when Alec Burks was on a fast break, 2-on-1, I think, and TJ McConnell was able to just do enough, to prevent what would have been a certain bucket as well. AB just froze in that moment as well. Tunnel vision in that one. That one really, really hurt because the Pacers went back the other way and they countered, man, I think with a 3 or an and 1. And man, that would have cut it to probably 10. I think it was a 12-point ball game. Knicks are making a mini run. It might have even been a 10-point ball game to cut it to less than 10. But that was really the nail in the coffin, I think, that swing. And the Pacers had a counter for everything that the Knicks were doing as well. But look, yeah, this wasn't full-strength team versus full-strength team, right? You put Randall, healthy Mitch, healthy Bogey, healthy OG, and I think the Knicks win this series. But with the Knicks that we currently had available and the Pacers, they were good enough to advance as well. So sometimes you just need luck, and you get it. Sandman says, CT, we must draft well. To be honest, I love iHeart, but if we can get a better center, we should go get Klingon or Zach Edey or a Valanciunas as well. A lot of talk will be had, over the offseason. I do agree we need to establish more depth and just top up the young talent. Maybe Jericho Sims has reached, maybe needing a fresh opportunity. I'll put it that way. I won't be mad if Jericho stays, but just another body you can really rely on, with maybe more talent, more size, more talent in these moments when guys go down. And the draft scouts of the Knicks will be getting to work. But Isaiah, I think, will be staying. But if we can, get a healthy Mitch or get another guy like a Valanciunas to really push Isaiah for a starting spot, that'll help the Knicks. So, defensively, we have to get bigger and stronger. Like I said, this team fought with all its heart, but we were always trying to overcome a size deficit, and you can't do that forever, In my big preview, I think it was with, after Game 4, I think it was. No, it was a preview for Game 6 with John Schmelk. I said that the Pacers didn't take advantage with Siakam after Game 5 and when the Knicks blew them out at MSG. But what helped win the Pacers the series was that Siakam, finally woke up. He was no Tobias Harris. He was no, Kelly Oubre. He was a full offensive threat as well, and that was the difference. OG was supposed to be the stopper for a Siakam, the same way OG was going to be a stopper for, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. That's the reason you make that trade for OG, is to slow down a Siakam as well. But where else the Knicks fell short was on the perimeter. I felt like we just couldn't keep any guard in front of us, Tyrese turning the corner today. TJ McConnell, absolutely nobody can stay in front of him, and we should have really sagged off and just forced him to shoot, right? I don't know how many times you can just let TJ McConnell blow by you before you make an adjustment, right? He's clearly too quick for anybody to stay in front of him, and we should have dropped back. We should have dropped back a little bit as well. Because the center drop coverage on TJ, it just gave him that open, pull up midi all day as well. So the Knicks fell short with that adjustment too. D Grant, what's up? Knicks lost it, but might be for the better. Now the front office know what they have to get, bigger wings and a better bench as well. Great way to look at it, man. Thanks for joining us again, and I appreciate you supporting us throughout the year as well as everybody. Let's go Knicks, right? tough end, but the future is bright, man. The future is so bright, but we can't put the blinders on, like you said. We need to establish what this team needs to get to that next level, right? We worked out, okay, this was our ceiling this year with injuries. Let's work on what we need to do to get to the next level. I think everyone will be back better, you know. And I also, we will talk about Jalen Brunson tonight as well as the news, and prayers up for his recovery, right? He'll probably he probably won't need surgery. If it's a fractured thumb, it'll probably just be, it'll heal with rest. However, I think we ended up, it's pretty clear we rode Brunson to the ground in this, all throughout the season. Because when Randall goes down, we were able to sustain winning because JB was so great at scoring and shouldering a big load. But you bring Randall back, you bring more scoring back. Hopefully, he doesn't need to take over the way he had to. He's always trying to give the team what it needs, but we don't need to run Jalen Brunson into the ground. And, that is the start for me next season, right, is to get some more offensive help. I really believe in my heart that if Bogdanovic was a piece that was healthy, he would have been money in this series, right? He would have been 15, 20 points off our bench in this series. His size at 6'8", 6'9", would have been a good matchup as well for Siakam. Would have really given the Pacers a lot to think about, offensively as well. I think we could have survived without Mitch in this series. I don't think Mitch being down really killed us. Look, Randall's been down all year, so it's really tough to include him. But of course, the Knicks would have won if they had Randall. But if you just had Bogdanovic and you had OG, I think we'll be talking, we'll be buzzing, and we'll be talking about the Eastern Conference Finals right now. William says we've seen the last of Mitch and Bogey. I think for now we might have them for a little bit longer, but Bogdanovic I think will be gone in a trade. Mitchie, it could be true, man. It could be 50-50 right now. We'll see what the front office thinks. He's on a really good contract though, but now you clearly can't rely on Mitch, to stay healthy. Juan, what's up? Great year, but the Knicks still need a secondary ball handlers and another shooting big. I agree with the big man. Hopefully an offensive-minded guy. I've been talked about with Precious Achiuwa. I think we might not have enough money. If we do extend Brunson, we pay Tibbs, we pay all these guys, we pay iHeart. We might not have enough for Precious as well, but I'm okay with that. He's been a nice piece when we needed, but he's not, by all means, he's not a piece that we absolutely have to keep. We'll see if he wants to take a discount as well. But yeah, thanks for joining us again. Buzzer beater, salute. Pacers are going to get cooked by the Celtics as well. They might win one game, maybe two at a stretch as well. But yeah, I think defensively, Boston will have its number on the perimeter as well. But I'm disappointed we didn't have an adjustment for their ball pressure. TJ McConnell as well. Tip your cap to him. He'll be a free agent after next season. Mets, Knicks, good season. The health issues was way too much to overcome. If we had an OG, we win the series. Yep, 100%. 100%. Sadu, we're not healthy. Bad luck. Knicks won this season. Salute, salute. Next year, 70 wins. I love the optimism, fam. But yeah, I think D. Grant summed it up well. This showed us how good we can be, but it also showed us, okay, Leon Rose, okay, Tom Thibodeau, this is what we're working with now. Go fix it. Go fix it. I really don't think Alec Burks will stick around. I think, a veteran team might give him a little bit more money. We'll see. I don't know if we could, find a role. I think we need to look a little younger. I'm excited for Summer League. Obviously, that's a ways away, but Rokas Jokubaitis looks like we're going to get a look at him in Summer League. I think Rokas with Deuce could be a nice, young / kind of experienced backcourt. Give us a little bit of something. We'll see. Sadu says Spider is coming. We'll see if that noise goes up a notch now that the Knicks are eliminated. Spiders, all the talk is that he's going to get moved as well. I think Jimmy Butler is going to get moved as well. A lot of people do think that there's a chance Julius Randle could get traded in the future, at some point, right? I think all things are on the table. I won't be shocked if it happens. Do I expect it to happen straight away? No. But would I be shocked? No. I think Leon Rose has shown when he traded RJ, he traded quickly and he brought OG in. I think that showed that Leon Rose is willing to make the necessary, right? There's one thing I respect the most about Leon Rose is he doesn't let, family connections and ties get in the way, because he traded Obi and he traded RJ and he traded quickly for pieces that he thinks help the team better, and I do think that he's willing to do the necessary, right? Whatever that is, right? Dallas is one of the other teams that I really, really dislike as well. So I don't see Dallas advancing. I think the Denver Nuggets will find a way. I think it'll be Denver, Boston. Let me know your finals predictions too, fam, as well. Buzzer beater, salute with the super chat. TJ is not that quick. He capitalized on our errors as well. He's crafty, I'll give him that. But he kept his dribble alive. He was probing. And look, he was just that extra piece of depth on top of another layer, on top of another layer. And, when the Knicks were losing bodies, look, it really shouldn't have come down to 7. I think if the Knicks win Game 3, we close this one out early. But the longer the series went on, the advantage to the Pacers as well. Look, I'm disappointed we didn't have enough left in the tank today, but we made runs. JB went down. I think the fact that OG could only last 5 minutes, right? All the buzz, all the adrenaline just went, man. It was like deflating, But credit to Josh Hart, for continuing to fight through things as well. But outstanding performance from the big Ragu as well, right? With all these troops down, he tried to fight and keep us in it. Big time 3-point shooter, the second best catch and shoot shooter in the league right now, and that is something to really work with as well. I'd love to just hear your thoughts on this, guys. Would you be cool with DiVincenzo still being the starting 2 next season, or would you prefer to see an upgrade there, or would you prefer to upgrade another position and keep Donte DiVincenzo as our starting 2? Either way, I'm cool, but I think Devo's really earned that role for him right now. I mean, you literally could have asked him to shoot any better this season. Now, if you just want an upgrade, I get it. There's only one Donovan Mitchell. Those guys don't grow on trees. But I think fit-wise, shooting, I think it might be the right thing to keep Devo starting at the 2 and try to look at somewhere else, man. Maybe at the 5 spot as well. London says, for me, it'll be Mini. Mini will get through in a Game 7 as well. I think that game is going to start real soon as well. So we have 2 Game 7s today. Juan says, we have to keep the Villanova core, re-sign iHeart, and just keep adding to the squad. Yeah, use our draft picks wisely, fam. Now, we're not going to trade all of the picks for a star. We'll probably trade a lot of them for a star if we do, but we're not going to end up trading all of them, so we have to make some good picks. And I think we will. Yeah, I think we will. Gerard, what's up? Deuce got some issues with his dribble to play well enough to play point. I think as a reserve point, I think Deuce is fine. But as a combo guard next to Rokas, that could work. But look, Deuce's shooting has come such a long way as well. I don't think Donovan Mitchell is a great fit next to Brunson. Right, obviously offensively it'll light up the league, but that's not going to win you championships. Defense needs to, and you need a little bit more size as well. The Knicks are 26-5 with OG Anunoby. That's an incredible winning record, and a record where it's a better winning percentage than Boston. So you bring OG back for next season permanently at the 3, that gives the Knicks a lot more size as well. Where we need to get better though, Tibbs can't be playing him 38 minutes every single night, right? I'm not going to say he's injury prone, but he's a little bit more, one of those guys that just can't sustain big minutes for an extended stretch as well. But I still think he's worth keeping. I still think he's worth that money as well. Let me know what you guys think. I know there are some people that feel like OG just can't be relied on. I think it's too soon to say that. I think it's too early. You give him the money, you keep him, you made the trade, you see what it looks like, and you can always make decisions later as well, fam. Just because you re-sign a guy don't mean you can't make moves later. London says, nah, Devo is the perfect good D, amazing catch and shoot, exceptional mentality. I agree. I would really like it if Devo is still coming back as the starting 2. Now, I'm not saying move him. I'm just saying, is he better off the bench with a better upgrade? But as the starting 2, I think he's earned that, really. He's been exceptional this season and outplayed expectations, 100%. PG-13, fam, I was more open to that probably 18 months ago, 12 months ago, but right now I think he's another guy you just can't trust in terms of durability. But talent-wise, yeah, that would work. That would work really well. He's friends with Julius. I find it hard to see a way of it happening though. If OG is still here, the only way you're getting Paul George is by a trade. And it's got to be either OG or Randall. I just don't see that as well. D Grant, defense. I think Tom Tibbs knows how important size matters. OG, Tom Tibbs was one of the biggest advocates for Leon Rose to get, OG in the building, and I think he will, be open to, getting another guy with big size as well. Would you guys be open to getting, a Kelly Oubre? I know there's a lot of disdain for a Kelly Oubre as a reserve piece. He does bring a little bit more size. It's interesting, fam. I don't know what it took to get him, but I saw quotes today from Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward said, I was displeased with my role with OKC. It wasn't how I wanted it to pan out. I'm not saying go out and get Gordon Hayward, but I think maybe this year would have been a good opportunity to see if the Knicks could have got him. He's 6'8", would have given us some go-to scoring as well. He wasn't used in Oklahoma. I don't know for whatever reason. I don't know. I didn't follow Oklahoma close enough, but it was just disappointing to hear that from him that going to OKC, they didn't get anything out of him. He didn't get anything out of that situation as well. The Knicks could have done with a Gordon Hayward this season as well if he was available for cheap. But moving forward, he's too old, I think, to think about moving forward, right? We need young guys. We need guys that are durable as well. Gabby says PG is a free agent. That's correct. We'll see. The Knicks would need to clear up space or a sign and trade for that to happen because we are fully maxed out in terms of salary slot. But hey, Leon Rose, I think he's going to be aggressive, guys. I really think he'll be aggressive, whether it's moves on the margins or going for another big star, another big fish, fam. Just like Oklahoma, who had a great season and lost yesterday, the New York Knicks have also put the league on notice. We are a young team still that's coming up and hasn't reached its ceiling yet, And if there's one thing to be excited about and proud about this season, guys, is the fact that we're better than Milwaukee now. We went further than them. We're better than Philly. We know that. We're better than Miami. We know that now as well. So, look, we've passed a lot of teams earlier in the year that people didn't think we were on their level. So we are coming in next season, and I think we'll be at least second, third favourite to come out of the East right now. And I think we're better than the Pacers, honestly, if we're healthy. And I think that's a very, very fair evaluation. I think the Pacers were just more healthy when it came to it. Wall Street says, I like Kelly. Besides being a Sixer, he's a good guard. Yeah, he's just one of many names, fam, but there's a link because he's a fan of Tibbs, and he talked about wanting to join the Knicks, I think, 2-3 years back. So if he could be had for a veteran's minimum or something cheap. See, that's the other advantage by the Knicks being more attractive now. We're going to start to have guys who have maybe got paid in the league, and they just want to find a good situation, like Josh Hart, like Devo. There's going to be a long line of those guys wanting to come to MSG now because these guys have paved the way to say that the New York Knicks are coming right now. And I think there'll be more guys wanting to join the wave, in New York City as well. The crowd, the fans as well deserve a huge, huge applause for their season. Wall Street says, yeah, also PG spoken highly of the Knicks. He would love to be here. I know that for a fact, fam. He's friends with Julius. He's CAA as well. But there's also Mikal Bridges. There's lots of guys, I think, that would fit really well. I think the next big decision that Leon makes is absolutely critical and could really set things up. Could set things up or set us back, quite possibly. Maybe when we go back to Donnie Walsh, when he was forced to amnesty Chauncey Billups and sign Tyson Chandler, that set the Knicks back. So the next big move we make has to be a smart one, man. Buzzer with the super chat. Buzzer beater on fire today. Let's go. Disappointing result, but we look forward to the future, man. We look up right now, and Buzzer says, CT, you're right. We didn't have an answer for the double. That's on Tibbs. We advanced further than what we should have. Congrats on this great season as well. Great wise thoughts. Everyone can do better. That's the goal. I think Tibbs will be looking at himself. By the way, I do think Tibbs gets an extension. I think in the eyes of Leon, he's done enough, to earn this extension. Does he need to grow, adjust, and be better? 100%. 100%. That's with trusting, the guys throughout the regular season and not gassing guys, not playing them so much, but also growing in terms of, using his assistants, play calls, adjustments, and all of that. But look, it wasn't all bad for Tibbs. He had a pretty decent playoff run. He did outcoach Carlisle for a few games. He did a great adjustment in Game 5. The team still plays hard for Tibbs as well. That's the biggest factor. The only time Tibbs gets fired is when the players give up. It happened in Chicago and it happened in Mini. If the players continue to play hard for Tibbs, that's all you can ask for as well. And I think he will stay, right? But the roster has to get better. Tibbs has to get better as well. D Grant asks, would we look at trading Hartenstein for a wing? I think you gotta consider it, fam. One thing is I don't see us losing Hartenstein for nothing. I think if we can find the right money, we will sign him. Otherwise, if a team just outbids, he might help us with a sign and trade. But I can't see a team offering Isaiah like 18, 20 mil. I think if it's 15, 16, 14, I think that he will agree to stay with the New York Knicks, and I think he will be the starting five moving forward. I think Mitch, hopefully he has a great preseason and comes back healthy, fam. By the way, this is the first year that the NBA draft is going to be over 2 days. the first and the second round are going to be completely separated, and there'll be a lot more activity. There'll be a lot more trades, and there'll be a lot more discussions between GMs and all of that as well, fam. Look forward to that. But look, I think the Knicks have got toughness. We just need a little bit more size, because it's not always the fight. In a guy, it's also the size as well. And Siakam 6'9", didn't get any smaller in this series as well. Hart absolutely battled, today, and every single New York Knick should hold their head up high for the season, right? Today was a real disappointment, but we wear it as a team. Everybody deserves to take this L, today as well. But guys who did play better was Devo, Deuce McBride, Alec Burks as well. We lost the war of attrition. Really, that's all it came down to, right? I don't think the Knicks give this effort if they have more to give. I think Isaiah was just battling, man, everyone on the glass. Wall Street says Knicks will also have a lot more televised games next year. 100%. Good attraction for a big player. We obviously wait to see now the All-NBA teams, fam, too. Jalen Brunson finished top 5 MVP. Hell of a playoff run. I think for those that were on the fence, or those weren't paying attention, if they weren't Knicks fans, they definitely know about Jalen Brunson now. And I think his third year in New York is going to be, it's going to be All-NBA first team consideration once again. Hopefully top 3 MVP. And I think hopefully he has more help, so we don't have to run him into the ground as well. Because, look, Indiana made a solid adjustment, but I don't think that was the main difference. I think JB was more gassed. Don't forget, he had a bum foot. He had a bum hand. And he gave us that 44-point game in Game 5 as well. I just think he was a little bit tunnel vision in Game 6. Today, he just didn't have it. He just didn't have that lift as well. We do the draft. We've got multiple first-round picks in this year's draft. We're really looking forward to that. A shooting center, that's big time. That is something to really look at as well, fam. As well, like I said, Jericho Sims is young. He's cheap. I could see him staying as the reserve, as a situational reserve. But, he's not somebody we can rely upon unless his game, really develops, which I hope it does. But he hasn't been able to develop, some moves offensively. Will Dolan go over the salary cap to keep our best core players? 100%, man. Now that the team is winning, don't forget, by today, Game 7, the New York Knicks, MSG Trust, and James Dolan would have made a boatload of money with this extended playoff run, fam. Today, it was one of the highest ticket prices in playoff history as well, and the New York Knicks have made a boatload of money this season, man, with all these playoff games, right? A full second round, entire first round, right, of games too. I bet Dolan will be willing to spend to keep this core together. I think it would be very, very expensive, though. I think he's going to extend Tibbs. I think Jalen Brunson will get an extension. I think OG Anunoby will get an extension. And I think we'll come back, man. We'll be a 55-plus win team next season, hopefully with more health. And let's get it, right? The bar has been set now, guys. No, we no longer strive to get out of the first round. Next season, it's Eastern Conference Finals or Finals as the target coming into training camp from the jump. William says, how the Knicks get blown out on their home court. 7-game series, the Knicks were worn down, but disappointing effort today, right? They just didn't have any more left in the tank, right? The Pacers play fast. That's the difference, I think. And the Knicks were missing size as well. Every year is different, Gerard, 100%. But you can't look at this Knicks team and how they did with all these injuries and not think that the Knicks will still be better next season, right? They only acquired OG, halfway through the season. We're 26-5 with him. We only played less than half a season with Julius, right? If everybody was healthy, then there would be more doubts as to whether the Knicks could go up another level. But clearly they have all these bodies coming back. And look, Milwaukee have shown their true self, and things like that. But it's up to each person to feel how they feel. I feel strongly that the New York Knicks will be a lot better next season. You look at those bodies missing as well. But to your point, some years you can have luck, and then the next year you might not have any luck as well. So it really is the balance of the basketball sometimes. But the Knicks should have closed this one out in 6 or 5. If they had won game 3, that's it right there, man. The Knicks' inability to win one game in Indiana. See, we had 3 chances. Indy had 4 chances to win a game in MSG, and ultimately that fourth chance was just enough. And look, we weathered the storm. We were just too gassed to make a big run late, and push it. I think, and that is something that will hold the Knicks back, unless they can get more depth as well, right? I think OG is the biggest factor of this series lost. I think 26-5. I think we won the first 2 games when OG went down. He was amazing, right? He was protecting the rim. He was fully switching. He was neutralizing Siakam. And he was a full defensive force, which is why we brought the man in, right? We just missed him late. But yeah, look, there'll be a lot of naysayers. There'll be a lot of people with doubts, right? It's tough to lose a game 7. I get it, 100%. And the Knicks need to come back better. Claxton, Mikal Bridges. It looks like the Nets are fully open to trade talks now for a Mikal Bridges. I think they're worried that he's not happy there. He's not going to stay as well. They're going to try to get Donovan Mitchell, I think, to please Mikal Bridges. If the Nets are unsuccessful getting a Donovan Mitchell, then I think they'll really look at trading a Mikal Bridges as well. And look, yeah, the Knicks got to get aggressive. Remember, we haven't even emptied our war chest. See, that's the thing. The Knicks have more assets than Indiana to continue to build and bring in another superstar, right? The Knicks have 9 tradable first-round picks, man. Tradable first-round picks. And we have pieces to move as well. So this thing is very, very fluid. Best believe that. Dre, what's up? Should the Knicks have gotten in on Siakam? Pacers looking good with Spicy P. I think that was a solid move for them. They did have to overpay, though. They paid Siakam a lot as well. I don't know if he's a $40 million kind of guy. I don't know many people around the league that would pay him. I think their ceiling goes as far as how good their young players are, but I think if the Knicks had OG, I don't think Siakam would have cooked as much. And don't forget about Julius Randle, right? Julius Randle would have absolutely bullied the Pacers down low. Don't forget Julius Randle is a big rebounder as well. He is a big-time player on the boards. And Jew would have averaged probably 12, 13 boards this series as well. He would have been a bully to move out of the paint as well. So, look, we rewind and we'll have plenty of time to reflect later this week when we do a season autopsy. But the fact that Randall was out for so long, people just started to forget about him, right? And it's clear that, regardless of how you feel about Randall's game, the fact that he is such a factor in terms of being a second piece for Brunson to play off, They had a nice two-man game going, and Julius was really, really moving the rock well this season before he went down as well. So Randall is that other factor as well that we really, really missed. It's unfortunate that we didn't get to see him and what he looks like in the playoffs as well, but he's still on that friendly deal. I think we run it back. We run it back, see how we look. We make moves on the margins with depth. We get better physically. We get better, stronger with depth as well. And I think we keep going. We keep going from there, fam. But look. This is a 7-game series. Indiana was the most healthy, right? And people might think that's an excuse, but the Knicks had so many injuries that there's only a certain point that you can overcome, and some teams can't even overcome what the Knicks overcame, right? If you took Spicy P, TJ McConnell, Miles Turner off their team, there's no way they're even competitive against the Knicks. So why is it looked upon the other way that if the Knicks are down Bogey, Mitch, Randall, and OG, that the Knicks should be embarrassed? I don't understand that narrative, right? The Knicks got beaten by the healthier team. When it's back to starting point next season, the Knicks knocked the Pacers out of the building. But they were good enough to win this series right now. They won it in 7. They were the most healthy, and they deserved it today, right? They had an easier run, man. Milwaukee, no Giannis, no Dame for some of those games as well, man. It's sickening, man. It really is sickening. We really did start to wear guys down late. But look, we made it all the way to the second round, almost to the third round. And you do have to play your big players, at that point. I think regular season is where it really wore these guys down and fighting for the second seed. It was obviously beneficial getting the second seed, but playing guys huge minutes with Randall down and Brunson, I think it took its toll on him as well. But for Indiana, it was a good move because they're a smaller market team. To get a Siakam, it was the right thing for them. They're like Toronto. They have to overpay. And that's what they did to get him as well, and it's helped them get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So just incredible run. Don't forget they made the final of the in-season tournament, I think. Or they made the semis or the final of the in-season tournament as well. So it's been a hell of a season for the Pacers as well. I think drafting and trading for those young dudes has really helped. Isaiah Jackson, Neesmith, Nemhard, those guys, McConnell, I think, their depth really helped them in this one. But, man, what a season it was for Miles McBride. This guy has really shown that he is a big factor moving forward next season. His second run in the playoffs. Compare last season's playoffs to how he looked. He was unplayable compared to how he was this season. Man, Miles McBride he came up huge. Came up huge this postseason. Helped us in this series. Helped us against Philly. I can't say enough about Miles. Great that he's under contract now, for 2-3 more seasons at a great price as well. And I look forward to another big season of Miles McBride, man. He's deadly from 3. Hopefully he works on his offensive game a lot more in the summer as well. And I think the sky is the limit for a Miles McBride in terms of he can work on his crossover and a couple of, offensive moves, tighten up that handle, bring the 3-point ball back. And Miles McBride is going to be a huge piece for us, man. Potential 6-man candidate for next season to look out for, fam. Just one, New York Giants. Halliburton's traveling every 3. I called that out on Twitter as well. Some of those step backs are and aren't travels, but it's the carrying that does it for me as well. His dribble, when he rips through his dribble. It's a big carry as well, and he's basically hopping with the ball still in his hand as he's dribbling it. But the NBA is allowing that now, and he's taking full advantage of that. But yeah, look, Tyrese's 3-point ball was deadly today, and he's quick off the step. But when he's able to carry the basketball, it is it's tough to stop, right? You exploited that too. Yeah, Gerard, I said that there's concerns with Brunson's minutes, 100%. But I think we won't rely on Brunson as much with two more bigger pieces, I think, as well, offensively. And look, I don't want to put a limit on DiVincenzo, right? His offensive game can continue to grow. He's only 27 as well. So let's run a lot more offense through Devo next season as well. OG, don't forget, for a full season as well. He's shown that his offense looked pretty nice. Game 2, OG scored 28 points, man, in 3 quarters. And just as he went down, his offense was looking the best it's ever looked as well, guys. So, yeah, appreciate you all for the passion. It's not easy doing this right after the ball game as the Knicks get eliminated. But, look, what a season it was, man. If I had said to you at the start of the season that the Knicks make Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semi-finals, that's roundabout where I thought the ceiling would be from here on out. But little did I know that the Knicks were down all those players, right? I would have expected the Knicks to get to within 7 games with everybody healthy, not with everybody banged up. With everybody healthy, I think the ceiling is really the NBA Finals now, Eastern Conference Finals as well. But what stings is that we won't get to see the matchup against Boston, which I really wanted us to see. You know, I just wanted to see what it looked like, you know. How could OG play against those guys? But we'll just have to wait till next season, man. But we won't have to wait long, man. Free agency starts in less than 2 months. The NBA draft within, like, you know, a couple of weeks away. Things are going to be buzzing as well in a month's time with the NBA draft, fam, as well, in late June. And then free agency, summer league. Everyone got their surgery in. Julius has had the surgery as well. He's fully rehabbing. Brunson is going to have to rehab the hand now. At least this is going to allow Brunson to just rest, just give up basketball for a couple of weeks, let his hand, you know, fully heal. You know, I don't want Jalen Brunson going too crazy this summer, right? Because it's been a fully draining season, you know, for JB as well. You know, he's deserved a well-earned break and a rest right now, and yeah, we really need to get him to chill, right? But we won't be chilling, man. There's no chill on the streets of buzzing. Lots of content to come, all postseason to come, all off-season draft content and season recap coming on, man, as well. Billy D, great show last night. Appreciate everyone for checking that out. I'll talk to Billy D, man, maybe in a few more weeks. Let this thing stew, man. Let this thing stew for a bit. It's been a pretty draining season, man, but it's been super fun. And we've painted the way now for the Knicks to improve. You know, we know coming into the off season, there was a lot more question marks, I think, over the last few seasons. Now it's kind of more refined. We know where we need the extra size on the wing spot. We know maybe we could do with some center depth. And then obviously you're still going to be looking at which star can become available as well. John says, the little guy, TJ McConnell, serious problem. Looking forward to see how Boston deals with him. Yeah, he's one of those guys that's fought adversity, just like JB, just like Deuce McBride, all of that as well. And I think he was one of the big differences in this series, you know, taking outside health and all of that, all of those things as well. But this is just one chapter, you know, in terms of the rivalry with Indy, the Knicks' pursuit of their next championship, right? You turn the page, you come back a better team next season, right? We gave it a huge shake this year as well with all the injuries, but it just wasn't to be, right? The more healthy team advanced. Indiana deserved it today. And again, I'm disappointed with how it panned out, right? But would you prefer to lose this way? Like, no loss is easy, but would you have preferred a loss this way or on a heartbreaking final shot where it's like, man, we ran out of luck? I mean, I look at it both ways. Nemhard's final shot, game 3, that was backbreaking. But today was more we ran out of gas. I did think we had more to give in a game 7. After that, though, I don't know. I thought we would have emptied the clip today, but guys just didn't have it as well. Tibbs, he's got to do better in the regular season. I think postseason he would have played more guys. If he had bogey, he should have probably trusted Alec Burke sooner, and that's on him. The OG thing, that war on OG, definitely. And, Josh Hart, 48 minutes, wasn't ideal either. But then we're probably not talking about a second-round series if you're not playing Josh Hart against Philly by that much. So it's on everyone, man. It's on Leon Rose to get us more, good pieces off the bench. We'll see how we look. But don't forget, Josh Hart will slide back to his bench position next season with OG and Randall in the starting unit. I said before, I don't know if Precious Achua is going to stick. I think we might just run out of money, fam, in terms of all the deals we have to do. Isaiah Hartenstein is at the top of the list, man. You can't go into next season with just Mitch and Sims. I think whether we draft another center or not, we're definitely going to have to bring back Isaiah, I think, and work on that. Get on my level. What's up? Listen, I'm happy with the season we had. The only concern I have is simply this. Tibbs is a great defensive coach. But I see us winning a chip with him, with Tibbs. I think you can go as far as your personnel, but the coaching has to be elite as well. I think Tibbs had a better postseason this one than last season. Obviously, he got the better of Philly, and I think he did okay in this series in terms of X's and O's, making good adjustments with Deuce. But the thing he's got to improve on the most is, he's starting to not wear guys down in the regular season too much. Yes, it's important to get the right seed, but I think obviously after Randall went down, he just had to play guys so much to get us in a better spot. Right, but Hart, 48 minutes, so many games in a row. Trust the bench a bit more, definitely. I do have concerns over Tibbs' offense too, but if he can improve with using the assistants, hopefully getting a coordinator or something, that will be better, fam, as well. I was sickened to see that the Knicks could not inbound the basketball, man. We've had all season to be better at that, all postseason as well. How do you not comfortably inbound the basketball again as well? If they're overplaying you, there's a counter to that, right? Throw the ball over their heads if they're pressing you. Cut back door, set a good screen. I think the guys just ran out of gas, man. And I think it'll be disappointing to see what they say. Obviously, these guys are going to feel it, man. They feel like they let the city down, but today they did, but the season they did not, right? These guys fought till the wheels fell off. It's just disappointing that this year was so wide open. Indy got through 2 matchups, and we'll see how they do. Man, we'll see how they do. Credit for them for making a big in-season trade. You got to say, outside of OG Anunoby, in-season trade, you got to say that getting Pascal Siakam was the next best in-season move, man. Probably even ahead of OG if you're looking at just this season alone. We'll see how the future looks, but small market team, Indiana, you get a Siakam and you get yourself to the Eastern Conference Finals. So that overpay they'll probably say that was justified, right now, but I don't expect them to win any more than 2 games against Boston. Miles Turner, right, he's stuck around in Indy for a long time. You know, he went through the dark days with Indy. He's come out the other end, and look, you know, he's a big piece for them as well. He could splash the 3. I think we really miss a center that can open up the floor a lot more. Does the Karl Anthony Towns talk resurface? I think he's improved his stock a little bit more as Cat. I just still don't know if that's a good fit, right? You certainly can't have Randall and Cat. I think if you are going to have one of them, it has to be one without the other as well. But I'm not the biggest Cat fan. But if I'm talking about a stretch 5, a stretch 4, that is something that the Knicks could really, really do with as well, right? You see the impact that Kristaps Porzingis has had with Boston, man. As we look at Game 7 against Mini and the Nuggets starting soon, fam, as well. We're rocking out as the Knicks season has ended, man. Disappointing day overall, but the Knicks can only move up from here on out, fam. You guys bring in a lot of great knowledge, great perspective as well, as I expected you guys to bring it in this one. A lot of things we can work on, but right, what a season it's been. I think it's still a success. You know, it's up to each person to determine. It's not necessarily the results that make it a success. I think, you know, guys like DiVincenzo showing that he was a legit pickup. Deuce McBride's season lets us know that there's a lot more he can do. Isaiah stepped in as the starter as well and really took that role and, you know, and went with it. Jalen Brunson, man, top 5 MVP. We'll see if it's first team All NBA, man. But the ride is just starting, man. I think other players will be looking at the Knicks more heavily now, especially these veterans that, you know, might be on the latter stages of their career, but looking to help a team win a chip. Because you do need to stack your roster as well to be a championship team as well, you know, and it shows later in the playoffs. You need, as bodies drop, you need, you know, guys capable of coming in and stepping in, you know, as well, you know, and giving us something too. But, you know, Precious, the Bogey trade, I think, you know, that was just a cup of coffee, but Bogey looked pretty solid. We'll see if he sticks. I think the Knicks might pick up that option and trade him, or we'll trade him on draft night, or they will pick up Bogey's option and just keep him throughout the season and use him as a future trade, you know, as well. Because, you know, we could do a lot worse next season than having a guy like him come off as our backup power forward, you know. Think about what our bench might look like next season, fam. When we talk about Deuce McBride, 6-man, maybe Rokas or Alec Burks, Josh Hart at the 3 off your bench, Bogey at the 4 as well, and maybe another center as well. So our bench should be stronger next season. One factor you guys should consider as well is consistency, you know, continuity as well. The fact that these guys have chemistry already, playoff tested chemistry, you bring that back into the regular season, and I think you win 55 games, you know, because these guys have been through the trenches now, you know, together as well. And I think they'll share that disappointment, you know, in terms of using the fuel to come back and you know, and go one better. Too, fam. Tweed says, need to establish the bench. Yep, I'm confident the bench will look great next season. Obviously, can Brunson take it up a notch as well? Can Brunson be a top 3 MVP candidate? I'm inclined to think that Brunson's scoring will fall back down a little because, you know, he shouldn't need to score so much. But his overall steadiness, assisting, all of that should continue to go better, fam, with another piece like Randall. D. Grant says I will let Alec Burks and Bogdanovic go and get a younger bench. I could see that. I don't know if Tibbs will be a fan of keeping those vets, though. Maybe we get some other younger vets, though, like a Kelly Oubre, like I said, too, fam. But yeah, inbounding the basketball was bad, buzzer. I talked about that a lot this show, man. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the Knicks got to inbound the ball much, much better. Um, uh, like I said, there'll be a lot of people looking at the Knicks like, man, you guys are on path for a championship at some point in the next 5 seasons. I'm going to join the wave. I'm going to join, right? It could be big names, it could be smaller names. All I'm saying is having a successful season like this makes the Knicks more attractive, right? And maybe it makes other players look at it like, man, you fell short just because I'm the missing piece. I'm the guy that can help you get over the next hump as well. I'm the guy that can help you get past Boston. All of those things, fam, as well. Another name could be a lookout for maybe is Bobby Portis. I know we had Bobby Portis. It was not at the greatest time, but he's a legit power forward backup. Can give you scoring, could give you a bit of post presence as well. Does Bobby Portis maybe look to get out of Milwaukee? Do they look to try to build some more pieces as well? You gotta scour the league, man, and see what can happen. The Knicks are interested in Bruce Brown. I know that for a fact. I don't know if looks like the Raptors are going to trade Bruce Brown. We'll see. I don't know where Bruce Brown helps us offensively. Defensively, he'll be a pretty solid backup wing, but he's pretty one-dimensional. We'll see, man. I see. Definitely, a lot of teams will be doing a lot of shake-up. There is Brooklyn looking to make waves as well. They might be trading a Cam Thomas, Mikal Bridges, Nick Claxton might get loose as well. Man, it's going to be busy this off-season, man. If there's one word I'll use to describe, it's going to be busy. There's going to be extensions, re-signings, maybe a shake-up of some kind, and obviously the draft as well. See, last year we didn't have the draft, fam. Dallas tanked and took our draft pick as well. This year is different, man. We've got a nice second-round pick, which is going to be pick 38, I think. Pick 36 or 38. You can find a pretty solid player like a Deuce McBride at that spot. We have this 24th and the 25th pick of the first round as well. We could pair those up, package them and move up, maybe into the teens. Maybe you throw in a Bogdanovic to sweeten the deal and you move up in the draft, and you get a great wing with size. Or you draft one of them, you trade the other one. There's so many different ways that the Knicks could play this one out too. We'll see what shakes out, fam. But yeah, the fact that the draft is over 2 days, it's going to be real different, right? And a lot more movement as we have. But look, prayers up for Jalen Brunson too. What a season it's been. And to go down like that in a Game 7, man, with fighting and fracturing your hand is just, it's a nightmare. There's no other way to say it, right? It's a nightmare situation, but the only way to move forward is keep going. Outstanding season. I think JB will get rewarded with an All-NBA accolade. Hopefully it's the first team. This season has been incredible for Jalen Brunson. First-time All-Star, top 5 MVP, breaking franchise records in the playoffs, and hopefully finishes and caps off with a first-team All-NBA position. I think there's a great chance he'll get it, but he'll definitely be second-team All-NBA. CC, true New York grit, no quit. Yep. That's the mantra of this team this year, man. I'll never forget the 23-24 Knicks, but hopefully we continue to move, man, and win that championship in the next 2-3 years, right? our time is now. Can Leon Rose build a championship roster now and not get too sentimental with some of these guys? Because let's face it, some of them are on the more injury-prone side. And then if you've got a coach like Tibbs as well, that doesn't help the situation. So I think a lot of decisions need to be made, but I'm confident the Knicks will be a 50-plus win team once again next season. We'll be back here, man, next season. Hopefully we're in the big dance. Great season it was, fam. D. Grant says no to Bobby P. Yes to Mikal. Maybe a PG, a veteran coming off the bench. Yeah. PG-13 or a CP3. I'll say no to CP3. A PG3. I think it's going to be pretty expensive, and the age is a real issue for me. But Mikal Bridges, yes, definitely. AP says Josh Hart got to improve his shooting and cut back on the turnovers too. I think that's fair. I think that's fair as well. I think he did improve his shooting in the playoffs earlier. He helped us win some of those earlier series games, but the shooting definitely can improve. I think the dawn of a new culture of this team begins. I said it before, man. I think the next major move is huge because it could make or break the situation, right? The Knicks were on the verge of something when they amnestied Chauncey Billups to rush things and get Tyson Chandler. That was too hasty. The Knicks can't get hasty right now. Be patient right now. Now, don't be too patient because Jalen Brunson's in his prime, you know. You don't want to waste his years as well, but let's see how it plays out, man. Let's see how it plays out. The fact that Julius Randle has moved back to CAA, got to tell you something's up as well. Could they be lining up another extension for Julius? We'll see. We'll see, man. But one thing that is the biggest piece is the Bogdanovich tradable salary, fam. Basically, Evan Fournier, his money moved into Bogdanovich. Now Bogdanovich is that ticking grenade right now, and that is a usable $22 million trade asset to get salary back because we're over the cap right now. You know, we ain't just signing, you know, a Donovan Mitchell or signing somebody as a free agent because we got no money. But what we can do is use a Bogdanovich, 22 mil, maybe use another salary if you throw in Mitch or you throw in somebody else with that salary. Then you've got yourself maybe a $30 million, you know, max salary tradable slot that you can get somebody in for as well, right? I'm pretty sure the Cleveland talks with Donovan is going to be around. I don't know if that's the best fit, but I think he's attainable. Like, there's no more attainable star right now than Donovan. I think everybody knows he's leaving Cleveland right now. There'll be the Lakers. There'll be Miami. There'll be a lot of teams. There's Brooklyn, as Windhorst reports that those guys have already got offers lined up for him. So we'll see, man. But Leon done well this year so far. Got to keep building, right? Got to keep building. I said this before as well. If he does extend Tibbs, I would do a 3-year extension, not a 5-year as well. That's me personally. I'll say, hey, you've done well enough to deserve an extension. However, I'm not giving you 5 years. I'm giving you 3 years as well. I think that's fair. He's getting on in age. I think a 3-year extension is what it is. But James Dolan's fairly generous with the money. So I could see him doing 5 as well. You know, and if they sack him later, then they'll just eat the money. I mean, it is what it is, fam, as well. Coaches can be fired at any point. Their contract will just be paid out. But fit matters first, 100%. Fit. Definitely get us a 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" wing. A guy who's can play 3 and the 4 as well, and maybe shot create too. I mean, Siakam, you know, I didn't want us to get Siakam, but a guy like him was the difference late in this series as well, because he could shoot over the top. He could create a little offense where Halliburton just couldn't in the half court. See, Halliburton was lucky today because he was kind of just running and gunning, just popping. And anyone, let's face it, anyone can get hot. And I'm not trying to discredit Halliburton because he is a talented player, a young all-star as well. He is a good player. But where he got loose is basically just firing at will. He went cold in those other games. Today he got hot. But Halliburton can't really create, in the half court very well. And I think that's where Siakam came in to save their bacon, right? You have a fully healthy OG, and I just don't think we see the same effect from Siakam as well. But Miles Turner did start to, increase his impact on the boards, as well as Isaiah started to just run down, man. Everyone's stamina was down today as well. So we'll see, man. Did the Knicks get back Kenny Payne? The Knicks might lose Johnny Bryant. We might get back Kenny Payne, who got let go from Louisville, fam, as well. One thing's for sure, I think if Julius Randle is still around, I think Kenny Payne might come back, fam, as well. Knicks ran out of steam. I talked about Rokas earlier. I think he'll come in Summer League, and I think we'll see after that. We'll see how it looks. I think there's a good shot that he stays as well, if the Knicks can find a deal that's suitable for him. I don't know how ready he is yet. He looks like he's pretty skilled and able to take on a backup guard role. I think he's had success in Europe. He's won a championship there. My way to indicate that is, he needs to dominate Summer League, right? If Rokas just looks like a player just going through the motions in Summer League, then he's not good enough, right? He's a 4-year pro in Europe. He should come into Summer League and look legit for the Knicks to entertain, getting Rokas as well. Don't forget, we've got the Olympics coming up in June. Jalen Brunson, probably a blessing for me that Jalen Brunson is not going to be a part of the Olympics as well. Rest that hand and rest the body as well. Tyrese obviously got that spot, but Rokas will play for Lithuania in the Olympics as well. We'll see how that looks. And then he'll be in Summer League maybe as well, fam. But he's just one of many, many, many names that might come in and do some things. So there's 4 major moves to look out for, guys, to be on the lookout for. Let's try and break this thing down right now. The top 4 moves of the offseason right now, in no particular order, fam. No particular order. One of them is the guy on screen right now. He's a free agent. We made the trade, right? Something's going to happen one way or the other as well. I expect OG to sign a sizable deal with the New York Knicks. That's one move. The other move is obviously Isaiah Hartenstein is a free agent as well. His 2-year deal has come to an end. It was an amazing $8 million per deal. Leon Rose deserves a ton of credit for Isaiah Hartenstein, fam, and what he's been able to do and step up. Where would we be without Isaiah? I mean, this season wouldn't have even got to where it's at once Mitchie went down as well. So that's the second order of business, that the Knicks got to do something with Isaiah and OG. Right? Again, follow me. Let me know your thoughts on these moves and what you would prefer to do. The next move is, again, no particular order, but based on talks, this isn't something I would, force, but based on talks and what we're hearing is that Tom Thibodeau will discuss an extension with the New York Knicks, right? It depends how long it's going to be, but I expect probably an extension will be done, right? You don't normally let a coach run into their final season. You're either feeling what they're doing or you're going to let them walk and be a lame duck in the final season, right? Nobody wants to let their coach be a lame duck. So, like I said, you either fire him now or you give him an extension. And we both know that it's more than likely going to be an extension, right? You're not letting him go right now. So that's the third order of business. I think there'll be a Tibbs extension on the table. So that's a lot of money coming for James Dolan. And then the next thing, the fourth thing, is obviously Jalen Brunson, right? He's extension eligible. If you're him, you might think your stock won't get any higher. I don't think he has anything to worry about that, right? He comes back, he looks the same. He's going to get a big deal anyway. But does he prefer to get the deal extension done sooner? And the organization just come and just give it out as well. So that is 4 major deals. OG, Isaiah, Brunny, and Coach Tibbs as well. So Jimmy D is going to be shelving out 100 plus milli at least for just the next season alone with these deals, fam. I think the Brunson thing's deserved. Give him that extension. I think Isaiah deserves it as well. I think OG, hopefully it's a solid number. And then, like I said, with Tibbs, you can't really let your coach go into the final year of their deal. It's basically just setting them up to be a lame duck. That normally never happens in the NBA, so I think an extension will get done too. AP says pay JB. I think that'll be done, man. That might be the first move, to be honest. I think OG, JB, and iHeart. And that could be the chemistry that keeps everyone together, Like Isaiah might say, look, I really want to come back. Money is not the biggest factor, but tell me that everyone else is coming back, and I want to win with this team. So maybe Isaiah, wants to return and fight with these guys once again, And then Jalen Brunson says, yeah, I'm all in, and then OG says, yeah, I'm staying as well. So that's that for me. We've got some grades for Tibbs. Get on my level wants to give Tibbs a C+ for the year. I'll go save my grade for a season recap later in the week. But yeah, there's room for improvement. I think he had a better season than last year. So I think everyone's really gotten better. I don't know if anyone really took a step back this year, but it's all about how much more can we get better, because we fell short, In terms of the Olympics, I'm not talking about the Olympics in terms of watching it for enjoyment. I'm talking about as a chance to look at ROCAS as well, fam. Someone asked me about ROCAS, and I said we'll get a chance to look at ROCAS in the Olympics. Right? I'm not caring about the Olympics in terms of for excitement. So yeah, look, yeah, it's been one hell of a ride, fam, and plenty more content to come as well. And what an emotional roller coaster it's been from playoff games that almost ended in a loss that ended up in a win, and some playoff games and games that almost ended in a win but ended up in a loss. But either way you slice it and dice it, man, this team left it all out there and went as far as they could, right? And a lucky shot in Game 3 for Indiana, but today they earned it. Today they beat a team that was depleted, and they played well. They played very, very well, Indiana. The Knicks did not play well, and that is the reason why Indiana advance to. So we'll wrap this baby up, right? Disappointing day, man. And look, the nerves that I had going into the game were quickly dissipated when the Knicks did not start well. The Knicks didn't start well. Indiana started hot, and I knew we were in for trouble, man. And defensively, we tightened the screws a little, but then we started to turn the ball over. We couldn't get chemistry going today as well. We got out-rebounded, right? But you love the fight. They made huge run to cut it to 6, but after that, Indiana just had answer after answer as well. And look, the 3 ball, we just let them get hot at that point. And you're not beating a team that shoots 78% or whatever it was, man. An NBA playoff record as well. Tibbs will be crawling to his office right now to watch film as well, because yeah, that was just a bad defensive effort from these New York Knicks. But as I started the show, I want to thank you all for all your comments, whatever you had to give this season to contribute to the show and the conversations as well. I appreciate you as well. Replay squad as well. I know what this thing's worldwide. There's people on different time zones and all of that. But everyone that's rocked out through the whole season and even just through the postseason, right? We're ready for another big season ahead. Let's talk more, and fully, dissect the season and what needs to be done. But these guys, man, and you should hold your head up high, and because this season's been fun, man, as well, right? Last season was more disappointing for me. This one was disappointment that we ran out of gas and that we lost to Indiana on our home floor. But last season losing to Miami was a lot more heartbreaking for me and frustrating. This one was more just like it is what it is feeling kind of thing. But I feel like we're going to be back even better. And we'll see you later in the week, fam. Probably Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll do another live stream and then start to do the season grades with me all as well. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section as well. Appreciate you for all the compliments and the support as well, the encouragement. Really, really appreciate that as well. That's why we do this right now. And there's no better team, no better fan base. The New York Knicks time is coming, fam. It's just a matter of time as well. So let's stick together. And I'll see you soon, fam. Peace, everyone, as well. And let's see what happens with Minnesota and Denver, man, as that game is starting to tip right now in another Game 7 as well. But disappointing day. And let's talk about it later in the week, fam. Peace, everyone.